So I got
this way, and it's gonna face out towards the whole damn thing. But honestly, I want a view of the penguin. About the penguin. Just sit and smoke my feet and stare at the penguin.
the good stuff.
How's Wilbert been? Has he been around lately?
I actually haven't seen him today. Or yesterday.
What about Bosco?
I haven't seen him either today. I think I've seen Oscar once. Cotton might still be awake. And I'm awake.
Well, different folks keep different hours.
Indeed.
I hope they're quite alright.
Me too.
This, Jamfoot fellow, what do you know of him, Leonidas?
I believe he's a horse breeder.
Does he seem the sort to get himself into trouble?
I don't know him all that well, but I don't think any hobbit really leaves the Shire. What kind of trouble?
Whether by any fault of his own or not, he seems to have gotten himself into some.
What might have happened?
He's currently in our healing center, quite injured. He's sleeping it off right now. I treated him earlier with pain medication and anti-inflammatories, and Talia helped with a cold compress for his head, and he had quite the head wound. He was losing consciousness. He was vomiting up some vile black ichor.
Really? What could cause such a thing as that?
His body is covered in slices or claw marks. We couldn't get a whole lot out of him about the situation.
Oh dear.
Between the foul black stuff and all the wounds, it doesn't look like any run-of-the-mill animal attack. It seems I would bet my money on warg claws.
Warg claws?
Blade marks. I think he may have had a run-in with orcs.
That, and given before he came, there was several horns that were hobbit and horn.
Oh. I remember seeing that. I didn't know. I thought that somebody might have been nice and let us get some black pearls.
I don't think so. I think maybe putting everything together, maybe he decided to take it upon himself and try to be a hero and get some black pearls at the outpost, and well, you know as well as anyone else that when those horns go off, most of the time the orcs are quick to act, and within minutes they're upon the outpost and attacking whoever happens to be there. I think Mr. Jamfoot may have done just that.
Oh, thank you very much for taking care of him.
Oh, you're quite welcome. If one of mine was here and injured, I would wish for someone to come and inform me. He's
I would go and inform you, but I would have to ask for directions first.
I'm going to have him rest and move safely back to the Shire. Oh, don't worry. We'll get him back here safely so that you all can take care of him.
Do you need a sheep that he might ride when he's able to ride?
He has a sheep, and if he's not up to riding, we do have a galley that we can sort of strap him to, so that he could get his sheep to follow behind, and we could get him here that way if he's in no state to ride.
Oh, that is very kind of you.
We've put his. We had young Mothra come by earlier. I got her to move his sheep and his bird friend, who were left outside. Move them inside so that they won't get eaten by the angry chickens that like to roam our lands or the bears. Hi, Al.
Hi, Al.
You made me freaking worried.
I'm sorry. I can't move. I mean, I haven't been smoking quite weed.
I've searched the entirety of Mirkwood to know
come
where
here.
you are.
I love you too. I needed to come and let the hobbits know about Jamfoot, and I needed
Speaking
to
of hobbits,
bring...
I need an engineer.
Marge is not awake.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm an armor smith if I can be of any assistance.
No, we need an engineer to finish up the last pieces. Well, not really last pieces, because we literally are missing an entire ceiling! 10 by 10!
Oh gosh.
How does this happen? Oh my god.
Yeah, I think they didn't realize it's so big, but yeah, well, if
10
we
by
can't find
10.
an engineer...
10 times 10 is 100. How is that hard to...
You know,
I thought they
only
had
managed
brought
to do...
100.
Yeah, there was 100, and I used all of it for just one layer. Well, 2 layers, maybe. That's it.
Did Waldemar have to go retire? Did he go to sleep?
No, he went back to Mirkwood to farm resources to build more stuff and to bring it over. He left with me, and he never showed up. So,
no.
Either he got caught, maybe an animal took his horse, or he doesn't know where to go.
Well, I'm fine. Talia's fine. We will make our way back to Mirkwood together when we're ready. Do not worry about us. We will avoid the beach. We'll go back the way that I always go. And,
I'm already worried enough that there's no guard with you.
I'm fine, I promise. We'll be quick. You need to find him.
I already searched the entirety of Mirkwood, like the Redwoods. Couldn't find him. Don't know where he is.
I can ride with her and see her safely home.
With all due respect, Mr. Hobbit, but I think, yeah.
Oh. Is that so?
He doesn't like to leave my side.
I mean, no offense.
We will stay put. You go and let the others know that you've lost Waldemar and that check back. Maybe he got lost and went back to the outpost.
Yeah, we just gonna finish off the roof with wooden pieces and so what the fuck is that building? Is the Shire becoming a kingdom?
I was actually meaning to ask, what is that large fortress over there? Right, Elowen, I promise not to go back without you, okay?
Yeah, not without me.
Okay, honey. Get your butt out of here. Best friends. So protective.
You said it was a kibble farm?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I noticed that there were a lot of different animals in there the last time I was here. I was actually here, well, a while back and ran through and I noticed there was like stegos and stuff.
Yep.
Mighty impressive kibble farm.
Well, thank you. I believe Mayor Marge would be pleased to hear that. Since you guys need to stick around for a while, do you mind if I show you my hobbit hole?
We would love to see your hobbit hole.
Oh, perfect. Right this way. Are your animals safe inside the Shire somewhere?
Yep, they're just over beyond the farm, like the wall outside the farm right there.
Oh, alright.
By the sheep.
Perfect.
Hello, animals. I wish I could ride a sheep. Sheep are adorable.
Are there? Have you seen the blue ones?
Yes.
We have?
We were admiring them on our way in.
Wrong one. Alright.
What is this?
A water well. Are you thirsty?
Oh, it's a little well. Fine, thank you. This is quite quaint.
Thank you.
We have our magical waters of Mirkwood flowing through constantly, so we have no need of wells.
Oh yes, I've seen the lake today. It's quite a beautiful lake.
We I got a present today. That was interesting.
Oh, what'd you get? Is it your birthday? Happy birthday.
Oh, no, it's not my birthday. Well, as I'm sure you've heard, Gondor did not come to our aid in time of war as they had promised to. And some of them are trying to make that up to us, to reestablish the alliance and you know, say they're sorry, basically.
Huh?
And a man from Gondor came today and gave me a gift. It was quite interesting. Because the one thing that I've always wished that, oh, this is quite pretty, that the waters of Mirkwood had, is that our rivers do not have any fish. He brought me 2 little magical, like, like a little area of water, like a little water base that we could put in the river or in any other water that has fish in it.
Oh, that is wonderful.
Just a little fish swim around in it. I had never seen such a thing. And there was a fish that was purple and cyan, and that's my favorite, like 2 of my favorite colors, so I was very ecstatic to have at least a few fish to be able to put in our waters.
That is
Yeah,
awesome.
that's pretty interesting.
I've got them put somewhere for safekeeping until I figure out what I want to do with them. Perhaps I'll make some sort of a little aquarium of sorts.
I might have an idea for you. So this is my little hole. And from what you were mentioning, I figure we'll start at the end.
Yes, these things. See, like this. This is what he brought to me today.
It's
See
quite
the purple and
magnificent.
cyan ones? So pretty.
Oh yeah, I do.
So perhaps I'll do something like this in a portion of a river or a lake near Mirkwood.
Yep.
So
That-
pretty.
Thank you. I had to go into the ocean and carve out this coral, so if you're wanting it to have the coral in there, then you might need to send somebody to the ocean and get one. I probably have a piece up in my house if you wanted one.
Well, I wouldn't want to be a bother, but and honestly, I'm not sure when I'll get around to doing this, but I'll keep that in mind. Thank you for the offer.
Oh, not a problem. You should really see this place at night too.
Oh, well, we have the lanterns in the trees. Are the lights underneath as well?
It does a little bit. Oh, would you guys like to go inside and out of the room?
Sure. Let's do the rest of the tour.
Alright. Oh, this one here represents the sheep I lost yesterday.
Oh, that's sad. Honestly, walking up for a split second, I thought there was a very green sheep.
I thought you got like a green sheep mutation.
I think we're trying.
Oh, I like these. I like these doors.
Well, thank you. My kitchen's over here.
Well, we're both herbalists, so kitchen's the most. It's the heart of the home, is it not?
It is.
Yes, it is.
Especially the sink, because that's where you clean all the stuff. You make sure your knives are clean. You make sure the fruit is clean. And then you prep it with some salt maybe some pepper. Throw it in the oven. Bring it out. Add some more vegetables. Boil them if you need to. And then it's done and you stick it in the fridge.
You've got a little, you get your own little line here, all ready to go. Interesting.
Oh, and then upstairs. You probably don't want to know what it is, so I'll skip that.
This is a bedroom, seeing it has beds.
Maybe. And then my little porch slash escape if I have to. I can like run up here and escape. Blasted rain. And then I've even got a cellar. Oh yes.
I like this little window. It's very cute.
I think I have another one that I was able to keep a little bit more unobstructed. Right here. Well, the top part. Excuse me, sorry. Alright.
And I assume the cellar is down here?
Yep.
Oh.
So I've got some storages here. And then guess what I've got over here?
Escape plan.
Yes. And this is where I keep my
It opens-
trike and my
you're stable.
Doedicurus. Yep. Because they like to trample over the flowers, so they're stuck in here. Have you heard the sound of this door? Oh, it's the best. Ready?
Yeah, it's the same as our big barn. We have two of these doors, one at the bottom, one at the top going up. It's a sound I'm quite accustomed to hearing several times a day.
Or you probably don't think it's quite as awesome as I do.
I mean, it's a very good sound for what it's, for the door. It is a very good sound.
It's a very grand sound.
Do you want to know one of my favorite sounds ever?
What's that?
When you are demolishing a building and you take down a thatch ceiling, like a whole bunch of thatch falling at once. I love the sound of thatch being destroyed. Like a bunch of it.
That is
So
quite awesome.
satisfying. It's so satisfying.
Yes, and it's not quite as much of a crime as I thought because it's thatch. It's okay.
Exactly. It's just that. It's coming down to be replaced with something better.
Exactly. I will close the door. And I forgot to lower the
I like
ladder.
these little shells.
Full of bits and bobs.
Yep. She's the queen, and she's not the queen.
Oh,
Shadow.
thank you for showing us around your home. It's quite interesting. I think it's very fitting for a hobbit and his little it's so cute. I really enjoy it. We saw another little hobbit hole over towards the waterfall that comes down from the redwoods from Redwood Forest into the Shire. Just up the river from that.
Oh yes, the master hobbit hole builder. digger made it.
Oh,
Yes, I learned from her.
that was quite impressive.
Have you met Cotton? Or maybe her
I
husband,
met
Diego?
I met Cotton very, very briefly in passing here, one day.
Oh, okay. She's the master hobbit hold maker. Let me bring out a chair. Alright, well not a chair, but close. Hey. Yeah, they've been ordered not to leave the Shire until her boyfriend comes back or something.
I think a dwarf could feel quite at home in here. With all the rock, they might be able to convince themselves that it was a cave.
They could. They just have to like change the makeup.
Decorative. Nope. Furniture. Yes, indeed, they're good.
Well, things seem very quiet in the Shire this evening. Seems, well, is it only you that's even awake right now, Leonidas?
I believe so. I also heard about Mothra's adoption. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's something. Alright.
You don't approve?
I need it. Well, Waldemar brought it to me, about wanting to adopt her, and I would never tell him, no, you can't adopt this child, because it's a child, and wanting to protect her is noble. However, there's no way that I could, in good conscience, allow him to take a child from the peace of the Shire into Mirkwood, which is right now a war-torn city, rebuilding, recovering, and getting ready to fight yet again, because we know battle will come to us once more. I couldn't in good conscience allow that to happen. Can't put a child in danger like that. It wouldn't be right. So I told him that he was noble and honorable to want to aid her and to take the little one as his own. But I couldn't give leave for him to bring her to Mirkwood. That Shire was the safest place for her. Because unless your people fight the Orcs and bring aggression here, there's peace within the Shire. I want that peace for all of Middle-earth. But, for now, the Shire is the only place that can hold it. And it's the safest place for children. When war came to us, I sent our children here to be sheltered and to be kept safe. If we have to send our own children away to the safety of the Shire, how could I take a child from here and bring her to a place that I know isn't safe? That would be counterintuitive, to say the least. So I do believe that he is going to guard her. He is going to take care of her, but not within Mirkwood. They're going to have a few days to get ready, but I believe he may be coming here and perhaps caring for her here if he's given leave to do so. If not here, I do believe they're settling perhaps between the two, on sort of in the redwoods, but on the border of the Shire, so that he can keep her safe and near the Shire, but not bring her to Mirkwood itself, where things are so, well, fraught with tension and trying to re-find our footing right now. My people are recovering. They are injured, but we are strong. We will persevere. But I have no delusions that Mirkwood is safe, because it's only a matter of time before the orcs once again turn their eye upon us.
Yes, that is unfortunate about the war. I would love for this peace to be everywhere, just as you said.
Indeed. I am a peaceful person. I am a healer. I put down my arms when I vowed to heal the sick and the injured. Wartime is difficult for us all, but without it, there's no other way to push back the forces of darkness. Unless we fight for it, no peace is to be had.
Yes, that is true. I don't know how much help I'll be in a time of war, but I'll definitely do what I can. So I believe that Mothra has already set off and has maybe started helping Waldemar build a house on the edge of the Shire or something, I don't know.
That seems to have been their plan. Not sure exactly where, but he's an engineer, he's a builder, so I'm sure it'll get done swiftly. We're on good terms. He understands that her there is not the best for anyone. So he still will aid us anytime that he can. And I respect him for what he's trying to do with her. So we're all very much on the it's unfortunate that he has to leave, but it means a child gaining a parent, then so be it. No ill will on anyone's parts there, just everyone trying to do their best.
Yep. Oh, I had heard that you might own a, what's it called? A jerboa. Is that true?
There is one within Mirkwood, yes. There used to be two, but I've only seen one around recently. Estelle, her children had one each, before they left, met their end. It's, I think she calls it Sweetheart. It's a tan jerboa.
Oh. Um, where do you happen to know how it was acquired?
Yes, I do. The young boy, Quinn. I'm sure you've probably heard of how, well, unfortunately, Quinn met his end here in the Shire the day that the orcs ran rampant here and hurt and injured and nearly killed so many. Quinn met his end. He, the young elven child, he traded with a Haradrim, not sure who. But he traded for two jerboas, one for him and one for his sister.
Oh, all right.
I will advise you. Only trade with the Kadar.
How would I
The
just...
El Ajman tribe is not to be trusted, and Marge knows this, and she knows that all of Middle Earth is cutting off ties of trade with the El Ajman tribe because they are in league with the Orcs. They aided them in the war against us. They marched in on their giant Mumakil and sieged our keep with their fire pots and torches. They honestly did more destruction of our home and getting inside and getting to us and letting the Orcs in than the Orcs actually did. Without the Haradrim there, the Orcs would have been much weaker. But they are people with no morals. They are people that can be bought. Black pearls thrown their way by the Orcs, and they have no qualms in helping them. Despite them not even being people, but rather foul, evil monsters. They are creatures. Minions of darkness, and yet the Haradrim, specifically the El Ajman tribe, has no moral compass in that they trade willingly with them. They are mercenaries for hire by the highest bidder. They only look out for their own necks and their own greed.
I did not know that. Thank you for letting me know. How can I identify the two of them and only trade with one?
Ask for their names, ask for their tribe. They may try to lie. Keep your wits keen about you. I know they look similar. They all have sort of darker skin tones for humans, and both tribes, unfortunately, mostly wear black and red, so it can be very hard to decipher them. I know that each of them has amongst them at least one female. The female from the El Ajman tribe that I've met, her name is Freyel, and she came to us with a man named Nazir. And during the war, I also heard some names. Kuze was one, and I do believe it was when I asked about their leadership and who was in charge, it was two names were mentioned, Kuze and Ube. So there's 4 names for you there, and there's only 5 of them, so I'm not sure of the 5th. But Kuze, Ube, Freyel, and Nazir are all of the El Ajman tribe, and not to be traded with or trusted, because they indeed are allied with Orcs.
I'm getting a piece of paper. Here's my fiber go.
Taking down the names.
Yes, I am. You said Ube and Kuze are the...
Ube and Kuze. I was talking to them about leadership and higher-ups and who else was in the tribe. One of them was mentioned as the leader, and the other one was mentioned sort of alongside of him. So I'm not sure who is actually the leader amongst them in that right. I do believe they may be brothers, or if not brothers by blood, then consider each other such anyway. At least that's what I've been told by some of my sources, and what I've sort of had to put together bits and pieces of information. Some straight from their mouths themselves, others things that I've come to learn. Freyal and Nazir had been by a couple of times to Mirkwood before we knew of their dealings with orcs.
Thank you very much. I scribbled them down.
Wonderful. But yes, if you're looking for Jerboa, they are in the desert, so the Haradrim have access to them. And they call them, sometimes they refer to them as shoulder rats.
Good to know. I've only been to one of the sandy areas, and that was on the southern side of the world. Are both Haradrims living in the southern side of the world?
Yes, I do believe so. They don't live that far from each other. It's not right next door or anything, but one of my men has been giving a tour of the desert, so to speak, and he was brought by one of the Kadar to point out where the other base is of the El Ajman. So both of them do dwell within the desert area to the south. I am not sure of the exact location of either of their encampments, as I have never been to either, but they are both there.
Alright. Are they, more pleasant if I show up and looking for the Kadir tribe? Are they more pleasant? Or are they more like, want to eat me?
The Kadar are, well, Haradrim in general, and speaking of the Kadar themselves, they deal in trade. They seem to respect strength and willingness to trade with them. If trade, as I've been told by both tribes, is their lifeblood. So if you come willing to do a good trade, it's a good way to start off good relations with the Kadar.
What is it that they like to trade?
Well, anything and everything, really. Depends on what you have to offer and what you would like from them. I will let you know their oil pots are something that only the Heraldrum can make, and they can be quite handy. They can start a fire, they can slow a aggressor if there's someone running after you. You throw oil behind you on the ground and it slows them down, even if they're on a mount. Oil pots are quite handy. If it wasn't for those blasted oil pots, half of our keep would have not gotten destroyed. It can burn. We'll put it on a wall or a door and set it on fire, and it can burn straight through, given enough time.
Oh dear.
Yes. We had some oil pots of our own that we had traded for, but well, since we were not victorious, and, well, they had their pillaging to do and spoils of war, they took all of our oil pots as well, in addition to whatever they had.
Oh.
Yes, unfortunate.
Alright. Well, I was asking about it because there's a fancy little hobbit around here. Her name is Tara, Tiger Lily, and she's quite fancy. I thought maybe if I would be able to present to her a jerboa, she might find me fancy too.
Oh, that's
Oh,
that's sweet. That's very sweet. Let's see. If you would like a jerboa, what did I can't recall exactly what Quinn traded. I think he may have tamed them something else from down here and traded it, but I'm not sure. Perhaps he traded something else. And honestly, the little ragamuffin probably hid from me what he actually traded and told me something else because he was a little rascal. But yeah, just they appreciate the offer and the gesture as long as they feel it's fair and kind. I mean, those things run amok down there, and they're rather easy for them to get. I doubt it would need a whole lot offered.
With it being with it being my first trade with them, would they find offense if I accidentally offer too much for one?
Too much? No, doubtful. Too little? Maybe. I'd rather overshoot it than lowball them.
Indeed, she can't find me
Perhaps
fancy if I don't
some,
return.
perhaps some crystal? I know you have crystal here. Perhaps that would be something they would like.
Oh yes, I could definitely do that.
I'm not sure how much crystal is in the desert, but I know you have some here, so perhaps some crystal. Um, hmm.
Maybe some common resources like fiber. I don't think they have any plants out there.
Very little, so probably.
All right, I will scrap together some stuff at some point, and I'll go visit them. Hopefully.
It's a harsh environment out there, and there's lots of well, wild animals that you need to be careful of. So, as long as you're careful and well prepared for the journey, you should be fine. But just keep your eyes peeled that you don't run into the other tribe or orcs, because I am aware of one situation where a human went to aid the El Ajman tribe, and well, they said that the other tribe was outside, and when he went outside, he got ambushed by orcs.
Oh,
So, they do, since they are dealing with them, they do roam about in the area sometimes, so can't be too careful, of course.
so maybe a horse or something that, if needed, I can run away from the dangers.
Well, your sheep can be very, very fast, so if you have a very fast sheep.
I'm about to. I requested a new one because the other one didn't come home.
Oh, right, the little monument to your sheep, your fallen friend outside.
Yep. I hope to not
Well,
have a
we
huge
should,
garden of those.
oh, I hope so too. We'd probably head back to the tavern. I think Elowin comes there, and we're not there. He might get rather upset again. I doubt he'd find us in your little hobbit hole.
It's camouflaged. But alright.
Don't want to cause him any more worry after worrying him nearly to death earlier. I'm glad I could provide you with some information on the Haradrim.
Yes, thank you very much.
When you go, be very respectful and cordial, and that will serve you well. They respond to that, and their mumikills, that they are sacred to them. They're giant elephant-like beast. They're practically their gods.
Oh, good to know.
Mm-hmm. So extra respectful of their beast.
Should I bring? Does it eat meat or does it eat berries?
I'm not sure. I've never asked.
Because maybe I could bring it a treat.
Oh, perhaps.
If it's in kind of like an elephant, it might like to eat berries.
One would think. Do the mammoths eat berries?
Yes, they.
Yes, they do.
Then likely so then. Probably berries. Or so then that means then some veggies for them would probably be quite good. Look at these beautiful blue ones though. So pretty.
Yep.
Is there a particular color?
They're very pretty.
Oh, is there a particular color you're hoping for someday, Leonidas?
This color. I like the slightly darker blue.
Oh, yeah, the dark blue. I like both. I'm very torn.
I think I like the darker blue.
You might be able to talk to Wilbert and then convince him to get you one of each. These ones over here are his pride and joys.
Ah,
Both colors are lovely.
indeed.
Indeed, indeed.
Imagine a blue mutation on the horn. That'd be awesome. That would be very good.
I think we had a green one somewhere.
Hmm.
I think
I
I've
used
seen
to-
lavender horns one.
Oh, wow. The lavender horns on the bright blue or even the dark would look beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
They had pink sheep, little pink fluff balls once upon a time in the Shire.
I'm gonna guess that's before the Orcs.
Yes, yes. Well before. Ages ago. Many, many years. So whereabouts does everyone live? While we're waiting for Elwyn to return, why don't you give us a little tour around the rest of the Shire? Where'd Wilbert live, for example?
Wilbert. I think he lives over here. Huh. This is Wilbert's home.
Wilbert River. It's quite high walls. I can understand why after everything that happened here, but... Well,
I do like the use of hedges, though.
I do as well.
It is quite nice. I wasn't too fond of the wooden fences up top. I wanted to use the white ones.
Oh yeah.
To each their own. I guess they're both nice. I like the white. I think they're cute, but at least these match things a little. If you want it to stand out more, you definitely go for white. If you want it to blend in a little more, you go for the brown.
Yep. Oh, when you bring James back, he lives over here.
Ah, this is, Jamfoot's home. Right. This is where we need to bring him. Do you have, a center, a place to care for your wounded, or do you just make use of their own personal homes?
It depends on what stage they would be in. If they would be, needing lots and lots of care, we would keep them in the tavern, in one of the rooms up above.
Ah.
So we can constantly go up and administer the medicine they need, changing bandages or whatever. And then when they've graduated there, we would bring them to their home. That way they can feel comfortable, and it really helps the mending process.
Absolutely. Yes, have you seen the upstairs of the tavern? Yeah, it's actually an inn. There are rooms available.
I actually haven't seen.
Would you like to show her, Leonidas?
Be happy to.
I know that Colin and Cassia ended up spending their honeymoon here for wedding night. Yes. Wasn't planned, though. Wasn't planned. Yeah, it was very unfortunate. Colin kind of, fell asleep on his iguanodon just sitting there and was unresponsive for like hours. And Cassia eventually had to knock him out with a club and drag him into one of the rooms.
That was...
How romantic.
Yeah, lots of thoughts. I'm not saying none of them.
Yeah. Well, Talia, you know how elves actually wed, like the portion that seals the deal for us. That didn't get to happen on their actual wedding night because he did that. Cassia was not pleased. So their human wedding day and their elven wedding day are actually a day apart. Wow, that's
like it.
quite the sign. That is quite the sign, sir.
I saw it one day.
I really like it.
I'm wanting to learn how to paint it because I like it.
Yes, you have little rooms. They're not. There we go. They're not big. Just enough for like to put a little bed and, you know, a little storage chest with some of your belongings if you need to stay the night.
Gotcha.
And now we're trapped.
Oh no.
Trapped in the Shire. Who will ever save us? So yes, you can see there's lots of rooms.
As long as they give us some pipeweed, we should be fine.
Yeah, well, they better give us some food too then. If they give you pipeweed without food, whatever will you do?
That
Get
is
some
true.
munchies and then you just... Oh, that would be terrible.
Would you guys like to have a seat in the comfy seats?
Sure.
Right over here. I can get the fireplace going for you.
Yes, that would be lovely, thank you.
Yep. Actually ends up being what I was moving.
Well, this is quite a relaxing night. Although I did hear the bad news managed to reach my ears about Marge's husband?
I don't know what happened. I believe I met him one day, but it's very strange.
From what I heard, there was a note and it pretty much said, if you're reading this, I am dead. And it went on and somehow I guess explained that he was going to do something or another, and there was a chance he might reach his end with the orcs, and so she assumes that that's likely what happened.
Oh, okay.
From what I've been told, she was wearing black the other night. She's in mourning.
Oh, recently?
Yes, very recently.
Huh. Alright. I
In
think...
the last 2 or 3 days, sometime.
The time that I believe I met him was like about a week ago. He was leaving notes around saying he's watching. We didn't know he was the husband until later on, where we deemed this person not going to try and kill us in our sleep. Chased him down. He was really fast.
I never met him before. I have known Marge for many years, but I'd never met her husband. I was told he was quite an interesting fellow, so I guess that falls in line with that.
Oh yes, probably. Oh hey, I got a joke for you guys. You ready? Yep, I see you guys are on the edge of your seats.
Quite literally.
Yep. Oh, so when I was went fishing to get the fish for my aquarium, I nearly drowned. The experience was breathtaking. But
Oh, wow. Wow. You know, my partner, Tiberian, he would appreciate your humor, sir. He loves a good pun. And a good cheesy joke. Cornier the better.
Oh, I got lots. Or was he the one that came here and left?
Oh, no. That was Eloin. He's my best friend. And one of my trusted elders.
Alright. Oh, there's this other one. When I was told it, it was a very short joke and it wasn't very funny. So, one day I went to the zoo where you'd be able to see like thylicos, bears, saber cats. Oh my! First joke right there. And then I was looking at all the exhibits. There was one with penguins, otters, and so on. And I get to one of them, and it just had a little piece of toast in the middle. The exhibit was beautiful though. It had tall trees, kind of like palm trees, some short palm trees on the ground. I think they're like bushes or something. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait here. I'm gonna watch it. Something like, I don't know, a troll or something is gonna come out and eat this bread right in front of my eyes, and I'd be like, wow, son, I saw that happen. But as I sat there waiting, I waited at least a half hour, maybe more. Smoked some pipe weed, had some food, staring at that piece of toast. And then I went and asked one of the workers, what the heck is up with it? You know what she told me?
What?
She told me it was bred in captivity.
Oh goodness.
Oh, okay. I'm good. Yeah, Tiberian needs to hear that one.
He does.
Yep. Yeah, he really, really does. That was well done, sir. Well done.
Thanks. When I first heard that joke, it was like 2 lines,
Whew.
2 sentences, and it was done.
We might have to, well, we kind of have to go back to Mirkwood. Estelle is injured.
Oh,
Yes,
oh,
Jess,
that's
we need to go.
Yeah,
Alright.
we brought the entire force, so...
Alright, let's get going then. Thank you for your hospitality. Actually, Leonidas here. Can you... Oh, on my stag. Can you follow us to my stag? I have something, something for you to hand off to Marge.
Sure. That's kind of funny. Wonder if one of them's named
No, that's not my stag.
Vixen.
Yeah?
Here, please give this to Marge with my condolences.
Being very helpful.
If you can carry more, have a bit more.
Sure.
No.
Wait.
And here, for your
We need
hospitality.
the warg saddle.
This
No.
is
I
for
have
you.
that.
Well, hold on to it. Hold on to it.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
You're quite welcome.
Safe travels, my friends.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No
And
problem.
be safe.
We may have.
Ba ba blue ship, have you any room? I need some scissors when I sing that song. Yes, I do. Yes, I do indeed. Which I believe that to be why, when you shear a sheep, you get 30 pelt of wool from it. Alright. Oh. Why is it saying that it's live, but it's not live? I wasn't in a spot that I could just go over and switch it over. I apologize, guys. How you can be mod. Like S plus? Or maybe the eco mods we're using? I don't understand the question. Oh. That was a whole bunch of role playing right there. Tell you what. Nope, don't think I can take more. So I need to write the note, put it in Marge's pocket. Lots of weight capabilities. Isaac, what bosses were you talking about? I do apologize that I wasn't able to read it and respond right away. I just didn't have a chance to be able to minimize the game, switch over, and switch back to seeing the chat for it with the time frame I had. But this one's a role-playing server, so I won't be seeing the bosses like big spider or whatnots, unless there's some sorts of a random event happening at that particular moment. If you're talking about being a moderator for the stream, I don't know. Nobody's ever asked to do that before, but I suppose having you be active, friendly, talking, all that good stuff. I'll take a look into figuring it out. I'm figuring if you're actively watching all that I put out, you kind of get to know me, I get to know you, develop a trust between us, and then everything's gravy. Alright, I'll figure I'll hang out for a few, see if anybody responds to anything, and then probably go back to the boring part of hauling all this stuff around. That is a pretty nifty sign, by the way. Gotta figure out how I can learn how to make it myself. I think one of my tactics in the role-playing stuff is to do what I can to make the other person love me, you know? Like, I started getting to know the queen and her friend. I forgot her friend's name. And then kind of playing to my weaknesses or strengths or whatever the situation might end up being. As soon as I got comfortable with them, I started cracking a few jokes. You guys are probably going to hear the same joke several times, because my favorite jokes I tell all the time. Well, not all the time, because I'm not telling you one right now. And I've got some thatch, some fiber. Probably not going to make it for another run tonight, Because I believe my friends are starting to get ready for Dungeons and Dragons. So I'll just have to do my run for my own stuff next time I walk. And with this new information that I got from Her Majesty about the Herodrum, I can use that to better influence everything. Like when I'm going out gathering this stuff, I can go, okay, what do I think the desert doesn't have other than water? Because I'm pretty sure somebody already beat me to the water trick and taught them how to drill a well and get the water that they need wherever they might be. I don't think they have a whole lot of the standard resources. Some wood, some thatch, not, and some flint. And nope, that's just so how much wood did I gather? Minus whatever I burnt, close to 5.5 stacks. Well, probably that's probably a little bit generous of an idea, but whatever. That was quite a fun visit. Not expecting it, showing up, and putting on my best entertainment pants. I think I did pretty good. Yeah. Sheep and careful girl. I'll zip through that. Not you. Needs to be on both tables. Said I was going to go through the inn. So it'll be an eat one. So they probably wouldn't made that one like I plan to make my recipes, where it fills each person up. But I don't want to go crazy on it, you know? Anyways, I will catch you guys